What's that superstition when your ears are burning?
I think
Like people are talking about
someone's
you?
talking about you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either that or you're gassy. I forget which one.
No. I had that today.
High protein.
No, I had that today and I was like, oh, is that someone's talking about me? Oh no, it's the damn mask. Like trying to work out with that mask pulling on the ear the whole time was just killing me today.
It's interesting, like the things that will take you out of the workout, and it's like the mask tugging on the back of your ear. It's just like, I can't focus.
Yeah, and it's not for me. Not for me.
That's why I've been sequestering myself inside the studio at pressure.
Yeah.
It's like, nope, I'm in my bubble. Yeah. I'm a bubble of one.
It's weird. I had to shake it off. I was like, you know what? We're here. We're gonna train, doing the bull dance, feeling the flow.
Doing the bull dance?
Yeah.
What's the bull dance?
Happy go.
Since we have a video.
Yeah.
What's the?
Well, no, I mean, on the video, you want me to demo?
Slightly, yeah.
So you take your left hand, you're gonna put it out in front, right? You hear, and then the back hand.
Oh, the giddy up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Glad I got to demo that for the people. Welcome to the More Than Meatheads podcast. This is Cheyne
and Luis.
And you can find us on more_than_meatheads on Instagram, More Than Meatheads on Facebook, on YouTube. We have More Than Meatheads, that's the channel. And then on the interwebs, we are morethanmeatheads.com. That means .com. Welcome back.
Welcome back, listeners.
Yeah. And so this week, a lot going on, right? We're starting to put out a lot more
content.
Yeah.
Yep.
Getting a little more active. That was our, for lack of a better term, resolution. Yeah. And then we're going to have a big event as trainers this coming Monday, actually. And you know what that event is?
No.
It is the day, statistically, that most people quit their resolution.
Oh, big day.
Big day.
Big day.
Big day of being left on red in text messages for us. That's something to look forward to.
It's that big day of just like, no, I've reached it. 2022, that's my year.
Yeah, tried.
2021, that's such a weird number. I can't do it.
You can't do it.
It's an odd number. No.
Yeah, according to, was it, I was reading this today, Inc.com, a study of 800 million activities predicts that most New Year's resolutions will be abandoned on January 19th.
Just left like a redheaded stepchild.
So we are, I guess I've felt some abandonment issues, but not all the way. Because I'm what they call a junior ginger. I'm partially
ginger light.
Yeah, getting there, but not quite. It's like a tricolor thing. It's weird. It's a tri-blend. That's not a thing.
No.
I'll try to make it a thing, like fetch. I'll try to make it a thing.
It's not gonna be a thing.
It's not gonna
make it a thing.
It's not gonna be.
She doesn't even go here.
So we're gonna be try to be as proactive as possible, and we are going to hope that anyone listening is going to be able to stick to their resolution. So that's what today's going to be about, is about how do we get that resolution to move forward, and how do we make that resolution work for us moving into the new year.
Yeah, we got a lot of resolutionistas, about to reach their fork in the road.
Yes.
And it's, do you eat off of that fork, or do you keep trudging forward?
I feel like you're mixing metaphors.
I am. I really am.
Yeah.
I really am. But you see where I'm going here, though.
It's a hodgepodge.
A potpourri.
Yes. But 80% of resolutions are completely abandoned by the second week of February, and we want to make sure that doesn't happen for our More Than Meatheads listeners.
Yeah. We're just gonna provide some tips, tricks, hints, and suggestions if you're on the road to resolutions of how to stick to it and how to stay on it.
And again, for the actual article, it is on Inc.com, but we're gonna try to relate this as well as possible to the average listener, who our average listener is above average. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So
it makes me feel like a celebrity trainer, because all our clients are like celebrities to me. They're all that special.
Would you consider that a cheesy pickup line?
No.
No. What would you consider a cheesy pickup line?
What would I consider a cheesy pickup line?
Mm-hmm.
I never had a.
Would it be like, did it hurt when you fell
from heaven? Yeah,
that kind of thing?
Or just give her a coin to represent who she is, and you hand her a dime.
You give her a coin.
Yeah, it's like she's a dime piece, so you give her You want to show? Oh no, you give her 9 pennies to show her to show them what a dime is.
You give her 9 pennies. I don't.
Bro, I was not one for pickup lines.
I don't know how that works. Is it, or you ask them if they have like a mirror in their pocket?
Because you see yourself in their future. What was that one?
Because you can see yourself in their pants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Future pants, same thing.
Yeah. No, I was not one for pickup lines. Nope.
No?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
All right. Well, in that case, the listeners know you're being genuine.
Yeah, because it's just like it's like best pickup line. Hi. That's it.
That's pretty good.
That was it.
That's pretty. I'm there. I'm sold. Let's go.
I did get a new pillow.
Yes, you did. You just got that. I love how you tore through it. We couldn't even do an unboxing video because you just tore through that damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
How does it look? This is an update on a previous episode.
Yes.
Apparently.
This is the update on the me on my fixing my sleeping pattern journey, and it feels great so far. Like, you know, when you either a mattress or a pillow, it's vacuum sealed. You gotta let it breathe for a little bit.
Yes.
Because I was using it as a lower back pillow when I was sitting on the futon. I was like, oh, this is nice. I can rock with this.
I really feel like we're gonna get a MyPillow sponsorship.
Ooh.
And I think that's gonna happen. Just to piss you off. So, resolutions.
Rip off all the tickets. If it says not to, I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it. Number one is we're starting where this article is starting where we are always leave off, I guess you could say, where it's a SMART goal, so a specific goal. So what they're saying in this article is to make sure that whatever goal you have in mind, whatever resolution is, that is a specific resolution. It's not just I want to feel better or I want to start exercising. You have to put out the parameters for that. What is the goal that you actually want to hit? Yeah. Is it I want to go to the gym 3 days a week? Then keep that up. But it's not
the goal.
Not I want to start going to the gym.
Yeah.
So we've talked.
This is the baseline of this, like what we're working from. Yeah.
If you want to get more into the meat of a SMART goal, we have multiple episodes dedicated to different aspects of that. But that's just our jumping off point, our launch point here. Their number 2, which I thought was very good, was piggybacking on habits that you already have. So when you're creating a resolution, being able to piggyback on a habit that's already taking place. So what we're saying is that in the case of, say, going to the gym, it's not, I'm going to lick, Jesus.
What gym are you going to?
It's a free membership. No, I am going to lift.
That's another topic later in the podcast about.
Oh, wow.
We're going to revisit
Yes. That. I'm going to lift X amount of weight. It is not that. It is I'm going to go to the gym first. And then once you have that habit, then build on that habit. So you're piggybacking on what's already there. You're not trying to do too much at once. That's when a lot of people get overwhelmed. Yeah. Even with us, with this podcast and with building the brand, it's like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to, be over here on this platform, and just one thing at a time, and piggyback on the habit that you already created.
Yeah, it is a good example in the sense of like just taking on too much, and it makes it really relatable to us in the sense of the podcast, of just like the social media element, the marketing element, the content element, and everything that goes with that. So it's just like the same thing with workout goals. You're not gonna, if your goal is to squat 385, you're not gonna start with 375 week 1.
Yeah.
So.
Well, if you're Jafar, you will.
Yeah. Jafar's a coworker at Pressure. He just has that ability.
He's just genetically gifted.
He just has that ability.
Everybody hates him. Anyway, but that does go for diet as well. So if we've talked about it before, where you don't want to eat like an asshole, right? If you just build that first, and then we'll worry about whether or not we're gluten free. You know what I mean? Like, just stop with the processed foods, stop with the crazy sugary extra sodas that you don't need, and then at that point, once you have that under your belt for, well, hopefully a smaller belt at that point. Then a couple months of that, then you can build on it. Because that's the problem, is that we end up setting these standards way too high, these expectations way too high, because all we see every day is the finished product.
If it's a picture, it's a finished, photoshopped, edited product. If it's a video, it's a very well shot, edited, enhanced video. So it's really hard to disconnect and hold it to a real life standard of just like, well, I don't think that's actually like that.
Yeah, and we were talking about that today with Anthony, where it was down at Pressure, where it's not an overnight thing. There are no overnight success stories because those overnight success stories take 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's
even
a
young person that makes it as an overnight success, a child actor, in ratio for their life, put in a lot of work throughout their life. So
yeah, and then where are they now? Those child actors.
Rehab.
Yeah, the child actor story never really works. Don't model your fitness behavior off of 80s kid stars.
Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, the little ET situation. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Then it was just like
Adam Sandler movies.
Oof.
That's it.
Yeah.
Which I referenced earlier, so I'm a hypocrite. Damn it. So the third tip that they have is to engineer your environment. That can be taken a lot of different ways, where the number one thing that we always talk about is not having things available to you that throw you off of your goal. So if you can just go through and, again, you don't, do you have to throw out a bunch of terrible food or junk food? The fat kid in me says no. The trainer in me says yes. So they're kind of battling, and the fat kid doesn't.
The
have much
me in
endurance.
me says, "Don't throw it out."
Yeah,
I'll go pick it up.
Yeah. the me part of this is how about you DM us and then we'll go pick it up just for prosperity.
Trade you some stickers.
That's it. But what they're saying is not to have it available to you and to engineer your environment. To give that example, if you're trying to learn a new language, right? So the immersing yourself in the language is the
you
best
go to
way
the country,
right?
Yeah.
But I've actually, for some reason, have read about multiple people learning new languages. I think Rosetta Stone has me on their algorithm or something, and
it's going to be on everyone's now.
Yes, it is.
Said it out loud.
But one good tip that I've always heard of is that you post-it notes. They put post-it notes of like what a microphone is in whatever language, and what a board is, and what like. And
the visuals.
Yeah, so you have the visuals all around you, and that would be an example of engineering your environment. You don't have to have a bunch of motivational quotes on post-its around your apartment. You can.
It kind of helps. I've done that. Like I have a little post-it note right by my door of a smiley face. So when I'm leaving, it's just a little reminder, just like positive. When I walk in,
that's a select few places. You can try that. That's great.
Yeah.
If you go over the top a little bit, you're gonna get some weird looks if anybody comes over. That's for sure. But a smiley face before you leave, that's always a good one.
Yeah, my little mini dry erase board on the wall. It just says, "You got this." That's it.
And that's just visuals. I know that top athletes, I've heard this multiple times, will write a list of people they're trying to catch in like their weight class or whatever it is, and they just have this list that they're gunning for, so it has this motivation the entire time.
With regards to the little basically post-it notes and visuals and immersing yourself in the language, for me, when I've traveled to foreign countries, menus are a great way to learn the language, because a lot of menus, especially since they cater to foreigners, will have a picture of the food, the word, and the description in their language and in English as well.
That's good.
So you have a nice comparison.
Oh, that's a positive tip. Look at you.
Yeah. So when I was in Brazil, picked up some Portuguese. When I was in Tahiti, picked up some French. So it's great because you get like all these little. And I really realized like, oh, I want a menu, because it's like that's how I'm gonna pick up. Especially when it comes to food, it's like, oh, I really want to,
Yeah, you can try. You get part of the culture as well. Yeah. That's way more positive than what I was thinking. I was gonna write a list on my mirror and lipstick of people that like I hate at the gym that I'm trying to catch. You know what I mean? Like the jackass that always.
It's an improvement if you calling yourself a whore.
There you go. Yeah. That one jackass always wears too tight Lululemon or with like that flat brim hat.
Such thing.
There's no such thing as a too tight Lululemon.
No.
On a guy?
No such thing.
Okay. All right. Well,
those seams are magic.
They are. That is very strange.
Yeah,
it is It's like it was like the filter before the filter. Yeah, I've felt personally lied to multiple times actually, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about too. It's like,
all right.
Moving along.
Next.
Fourth tip. Fourth tip.
Part of engineering your environment is engineering your schedule. That is actually pretty good.
That's helpful.
Yeah. So part of the resolution is to know that even if it is a New Year's resolution, it is for the entire year. It is not just for the day or the week.
You're living one day at a time, but
so
same time.
Yeah. Yellow.
Yellow. No, well, no, that's stupid.
That's
Yellow's stupid. Yeah, because you live every day. You only die once.
So it'd be Yoda?
Yodo. It's not as catchy. So
why wouldn't it be as catchy? It's just one letter.
It's a letter. It's just the way that we function. It's the reason. Just this. I don't question certain things. You just go with it.
Okay. I won't ever step on that again. Jesus. No, so if you're setting up for the next day as part of your routine, then you're creating this habit with unconsciously. So if I know that I need to eat a certain way to promote my healthy habits moving forward, it might behoove me.
It would behoove you
to possibly get my meals the day before.
Yes.
And get that ready to go. I actually did that this morning. My own personal example. I'd get up at 4 a.m. for a client. So I know I'm not going to have much time in the morning. So what I did was I actually made the oatmeal I make. Right, so I make oatmeal and I actually put protein powder in it, and so it becomes like a actual meal. It's not just carbohydrates. And made it and put it in the fridge, and then
It's not like overnight oats, is it? Or
well, no, it's not. But the fat kid in me, I ate half of it while the other half was warming up. That's pretty much what we do. But I was ready. I was prepared.
Yes.
And that was the whole thing. Is that I was already measured out and ready for the next day. Had I not done that in the past, it was like, oh, I'll pick up whatever I can at the deli or whatever. And so you just eliminate all these little problem areas just by preparing for the next day.
Yeah, you're just increasing your chances for success as opposed to like planning on failing just because you didn't think in advance about something.
Because you failed to plan.
Yes.
I feel like that's a bumper sticker somewhere.
It's a lot of places. No one plans on. Wait, what is it? No one.
Next.
Okay.
All right. So
we are on point today.
You know what, man? This is fun for us. The next one is going to be activity. So they want to measure your activity. They make in the article they make suggestions where Fitbit we talked about before.
Some sort of fitness tracker?
Yeah, so you're going to do some active measurements of wherever your goal is. So that way you constantly have a progress update. Now there's an issue with this as far as if you tend to be down on yourself a lot, you can get really caught up in these numbers.
Yeah.
Weight is an example. Weight, if you weigh yourself too much, you're going to get freaked out because just in water weight alone, you will fluctuate. I've seen fluctuations 5-10 pounds.
Yeah.
Where you are on track overall, but in the moment, like day to day, maybe it doesn't feel that way.
And it's a weird catch-22 because the more you freak out about it, the more your like stress levels go up, the harder it is for you to actually reach your goal. It's like it's a really tough life lesson. Like you want to reach your goal of weight loss, you actually have to not obsess over it.
Yeah, we want the parameters to stay exactly the same. So every week I weigh myself one time. And that's all I allow myself, and I make sure that it's on a weekend where I actually have time where I can wake up, use the restroom, and actually weigh myself after that time. So the environment, everything is exactly the same.
It's a constant.
Yes. If you do it after workout or before workout, depending on how much coffee you had, whatever it is, it changes all over the place. So you want to make sure that it stays that way. And then once you have this active measurement, you want to make sure you keep track of it so you see the trend. Okay.
Not us.
No. What for you? How do you measure when it comes to not just any part of your life? How do you keep an active measurement of that?
In what sense of like my weight or anything?
In any way, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is.
Because of my schedule just being kind of in flux but kind of steady in certain elements. It's more of like a activity in versus calories out in essence of a sense of if I'm not going to be that busy today, then I'm not going to eat that much today. So I just measure it that way.
It's like an auto-regulation. Like you're just keeping yourself accountable to whatever your general activity is, but you're not losing your mind over grams.
No. I'm not at that level of like measuring everything out.
Okay, so I'm at that level of measuring everything out.
No. I wouldn't. I don't have that type of. Right now, I don't have that type of mental discipline to do that because I know I'm just not.
Don't ever do it. Don't ever do it. You're constantly stressed.
Yeah. Well, when I was trying to like lean out for a photo shoot, that I was drinking 3 gallons of water a day, and then having fish and only broccoli and no fat, no sugar, no dairy. And I was just like,
no fun.
No, basically. Pictures came out great, but I was just like,
I still love the fact that you didn't get some of those back.
They're out there somewhere.
What did he have you pour on yourself?
What was it? It was like a Red Bull. Yeah. The carbonated sugar makes for a nice gloss, apparently.
I mean, you gave him more than wings. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's
one way to phrase it.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, but that's an example of the discipline. So
get what you pay for.
I tend to measure anything I can, so that way I can keep track of it. Like this article suggested, over time. I try not to stress out about it every day, but I do measure it every day whenever I can. So if I'm looking at my just workout wise, it's a great idea to measure some type of caloric expenditure every day. It doesn't have to be so exact. If you actually look at calories expended through all these apps,
more often than not, wrong.
They're not correct. It is what it is. I mean,
they don't know enough about you.
Yeah, which is fine, but just don't try and sell me on something like that. Like I see the Peloton, for example. I mean, again, Peloton. I'm not saying anything bad about Peloton or anything like that, but you'll see in these classes where it's like you burned X amount of calories, and those same people that tell you that, don't look like they burn that many calories on a regular basis.
Yeah, I was gonna go more like also a popular fit tracker is like an iWatch, and that little watch on the metrics that you feed it cannot possibly know how many calories you're burning. And it's always interesting when you compare two people, similar body types, the difference in numbers that they'll get.
Yeah, it's good for certain things though. It's not. Don't throw it out. It's heart rate's great. The actual time spent moving. Those iWatches are great for. They'll literally talk shit to you. They'll just say,
"Get up and move."
Yeah, you haven't moved. Yeah. Those are fantastic.
Go drink water. Yeah.
But using the fact that it said that you burned 1,500 calories in 45 minutes, so that way I can go have an ice cream.
Shit, that's a lot.
But that's what I'm saying. Is that I'm just
set you on fire.
I'm giving this example where it's like so extreme, but then people use that as an excuse to then go and eat off diet.
Yeah.
And don't worry about that measurement.
Yeah, don't be a slave to the stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I track my workouts, I use an app called Train Heroic. That's what I use for my clients, and that's what I use for myself. And I'm able to then put in exercises, the history of my exercise, what I'm doing for that day, where I'm at for the week. For me, with my kind of OCD when it comes to that, I like to be prepared or feel like I'm prepared when I walk into the gym and know exactly what I'm doing.
And when you walk out, you know exactly.
Yes, and what I'm doing next time. So for me, that works well.
Yeah.
I do weigh my food right now just because it keeps me adherent to the program.
Oh, it also helps you portion it out as well.
Yeah. So whatever increases your level of adherence, like Lane Norton always says, compliance is the science. So as long as you stick to something, just stick to it, and you will see some type of change. And then the last one they have is don't sweat the bad days.
Oh, I like that one.
Right? So they're talking about what we're saying, where it is over time. It is you're going to have days where you fall off. It's going to happen. Maybe one of those days is right now, and the sound of Lewis's voice is the only thing to soothe you.
Hey. Also, it's a subjective matter of what you consider to be a bad day.
Yeah.
Because you can think you're having a bad day, but once you take a step away from it and be like, today actually wasn't that bad. It could always be worse.
Yeah. I could be on fire.
There you go.
Yeah.
But you'll burn 1,500 calories.
That's true. That's true. Just make sure you still wear your iWatch. Yeah. But realizing that it's long term and realizing that this is a New Year's resolution, so even if you have a bad day on your resolution for this year, chances are it's better than any day last year.
Yeah.
So just put it in perspective.
Also, if you haven't started a New Year's resolution, you don't have to wait till New Year's to start it. You can start it right now.
Yes, you could.
So
you can do a meatheads resolution.
And just start it now.
Go.
Now.
Yeah.
Do it.
But when you're building these habits and you're looking at a trend over time, this is where I wanted to take this, because you want your life to be something that you don't want to have to bear down through and escape from. I was hearing about the stats of binge drinking over when the pandemic started. You remember when gyms shut down, but liquor stores were open.
Because they were seen as a form of like therapy.
Like they're an essential. Like what?
Society would unravel if people couldn't get their Merlot.
Yeah, I didn't understand how that works, but then anytime you have a conversation with someone who's drinking, you understand why that works. But like, no,
Mama needs a juice.
Yeah. But no, I get it. I wanted the gyms to be open at the same time. That's all I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But if you start looking at this, I remember when it was a day or a night out and you would drink, and you know we would go out,
Yeah.
and drinking was like a lubricant for the activities that were going to take place.
Wait, what?
You blacked out a couple times. It's fine. But drinking was.
Welcome with a smile.
Yeah. But drinking was a literally just helped you get more into that activity, that playtime.
Yeah.
You know, adult playtime, right? And
Done responsibly.
Yes.
Yes.
But comparing that to, I remember when days when I was a little bit overweight, unhappy with my life.
Mm-hmm.
Comparing that to days when I used to drink during that time, right? So either way, it's a downer. Like the alcohol's a downer.
Yes.
Right? So you go further down this rabbit hole when you are already feeling that way, and it becomes the activity itself is drinking.
Yeah.
It's not setting you up to go pre-game, right? It's more game over. Like you're just like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is all I'm doing.
I'm looking to escape. I'm looking to check out for some time.
And these little resolutions that we can build up during this time can help build a life where if we all can look at a stimulus the same, where it's something that, yes, we talk about it, moderation, being balanced. You have this opportunity to then maybe have fun, play a little bit, that's fine. But that same stimulus is someone who's unhappy with their own life can take a downward spiral real fast.
Yeah, I've had nights where I'm just like, my intention tonight is get fucked up. But then there's other nights where I'm like, I'm just going to casually just drink a little bit because it's not, my intention is not to escape, and I already did this once a few months ago, so it's like, it's not a pattern of mine. It's not a behavioral thing of mine. It's just for tonight. And
Yeah,
that's okay. I can give myself that.
I heard that stat where binge drinking and mental health issues and we're up so much during the pandemic, and it just reminded me so much of when I didn't have a resolution, I didn't have a plan, and I needed that escape, and it wasn't drinking at this point, it was food.
Yeah.
And so like, if you're sitting there and the only comfort you can have is that food hug, there's an issue. There's a problem where it's like, okay, I feel like I'm now dependent. There's a dependency there that I'm building on something that'll at least give me some type of endorphin rush, so I don't have to think about where I'm at right now.
Yeah, it's I don't mean to judge anyone who's ever gone through anything like this, but it's just
You're looking at me very judgy.
That's just where I'm set at.
That's your disposition?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's
so not even in that way am I special. Okay.
But it's just an interesting thing to choose food or alcohol. It's like almost like a search for validation in it.
It is.
You're and it's so internal because it's an inanimate object of like where you're looking for that sense of escapism to also validate yourself in, to just be okay with yourself.
Yeah.
There's so many layers to that. It's just like,
it is, and I have experienced that level of dependency before, and it's not fun, man. But to get out of it without, I didn't read this on Inc.com over the years, but it just so happens that they laid out some type of strategy to move forward with a life that you don't want to escape from, and that would be the goal. And so if you have a general overall goal for 2021 where maybe I want to live a life I don't want to escape from. That's a big general goal, right? So what do? We make it specific. Mm-hmm. So what would actually make it so you want to stay in this world, stay in this life, and not have to escape from it? And you break that down on what's important to you. Then you break it down into piggybacking habits that you already have, so that way it's not too overwhelming. Mm-hmm. Then you break that down into, okay, how do I engineer this in my environment and for the schedule and for the week? And then you're like, okay, how do I measure that and how do I measure it over time? And then you're going to have slip-ups. That's okay. Don't sweat the bad days.
Yeah, so it goes from something that's overwhelming to, like, I guess, just whelming.
Yeah, just be whelmed.
Just be whelmed.
Yeah, the year of the whelm.
Ooh. I like how that sounds.
I don't.
That sounds like
terrible.
Sounds like a cheesy pop song from the 90s.
Yeah. I don't even want to go into that.
Yeah,
Like,
just be whelmed. It's like, pass, skip, next song. Oh, something more upbeat, like Nirvana. Cool.
It's not.
No.
Oh, it's a joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Any pullbacks or pullouts?
Nope.
Is that the new sound effect for that segment?
I had to think about it. I'm like, do I have anything? No.
No, we're good.
We're good.
We're
good.
perfect.
Yep.
Can you be perfect?
Mm.
Yeah. Put that in your heart. Okay, current events. We got a few of them, and today's current events are going to be dedicated to pseudoscience.
Oh, my favorite science.
So we're gonna walk through this. We're gonna walk through this a little bit with feedback. We got feedback on the DM.
Yes.
We got DM'd an article about kids weightlifting.
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you heard kids should not be weightlifting?
Too many to count, which caused me to do some research early on in my personal training career and realized that it's a crock of shit.
Yeah.
It's my professional opinion.
Solved.
Yep.
Yeah. So, kids weightlifting, it is okay for kids to weightlift. All right?
Yes.
So now we got to break that down. Why that myth happened for stunting growth is just so happens. I mean, there was the research at the time had to do with the growth plates, and they were afraid of
stunting it.
Stunting your growth.
Yeah.
Okay. What people tend not to realize is that weights are not magic.
Mm-hmm.
They are a form of resistance, and you are working through a range of motion under resistance, under some type of load.
Yes, and outside stress.
I would recommend that kids don't necessarily get started with any type of weightlifting until they know how to use their own body. And then once you build up that resistance, that outside external stress of changing direction, increasing speed, coordination, once you build that up, just like you would anybody that came into the gym, then you add an additional external load in the form of weights.
Yeah, it's interesting because if you factor that in, letting kids as they grow up become more comfortable with themselves, using their bodies as their own form of resistance, you keep factoring that in, you keep factoring that in, you keep factoring that in. Once they're done, hey, guess what? They're no longer kids. They've now developed where it's a safer range.
Well, I just never understood that. I mean, like, how are you going to tell me that a kid can't squat, but a kid can jump and land?
Mm-hmm.
The amount of acceleration that they are producing and then having to stabilize the deceleration, those forces are resistance.
Yeah.
So, like, you can't...
Also, it's like, how are you going to tell a kid that they can't, like, pick something up and then put it back down?
It would be a great excuse not to do chores.
Well, there's a whole industry of child labor that says... That's not true. Yes, they can.
So you're saying that a responsible parent, when a kid tells them that, no, I cannot help around the house because it is not going to be good for my growth, a responsible parent would then cite child labor.
Or just take them down to a sweatshop and you see all these little kids working hard?
That sounds like a fun field trip. So, yeah, first myth debunked. All right. Second one.
They lift.
Second one, blood type diet. How many times have you heard something like this? It's not necessarily the blood type diet, but people take one factor that correlated in a study or a couple studies, and then they make money off it.
Ran with it
By selling a book or whatever it is. So, have you heard anything like this with people you've dealt with?
Oh, absolutely. They've cashed in on just the little buzzwords of like the alkaline diets and like if you eat too much meat, it's gonna change your blood type and
How do you make yourself less alkaline, more or less alkaline?
Carry magnets, I think. You just pull it out of your body.
Yeah, like a battery, right?
Yeah, like Magneto, just like, absorb it.
So how do you do you like? So if you told me you were too alkaline, what would be the solution?
Vinegar? I don't know.
Turn it over, lick the tip. I think so.
Keep it in the fridge.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's how it works.
Yeah. Just like any other battery.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more of a lithium.
So you can find this on verywellfit.com. That's my first time ever visiting this site.
That,
but
yeah.
hey, if they want to sponsor us. But they actually broke down a study that debunked the blood type diet, and all they did was gave people the like a vegan diet and had multiple blood types, and they're like, oh yeah, it's not a thing.
It's not a thing.
Yeah.
No.
So there's actually once there's actually studies done on it where there's no bias, there's no money to be made on it. More than likely, fad diets are a fad for a reason.
For a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But blood type diet, in general, what they do, just like every other fad diet, is they recommend good general recommendations for anyone who, if they're already on a junk food diet, they will see some positive results. And then they claim that...
I know they sneak in that little, just like, yeah, it's like, we'll fix you up. Just make sure you work out and eat properly. But then also take our stuff and you'll see the results.
Yeah, it's the same thing. If you just have general recommendations and guidelines where you just lay off the junk food and you exercise, eat well.
It's like when they used to film those workout videos at HRC on 23rd Street, and they would do it for like 6 weeks, and we'd see people changing.
Yeah.
Like, oh wow, they're really getting results. They're really grinding away. Then they wheel in their little lunch boxes of their 1,200 calorie a diet day. Like, oh, you sons of bitches. That's the trick right there.
Well, that's the thing. That's why people when they yo-yo, right, is that they cut in. I would recommend anyone go to we gotta get Lane Norton on the podcast talk about this, but your basal metabolic rate, so how many calories you burn just at rest, there's some evidence to suggest that as you diet, your body adapts. Just like anything else it will adapt to, it'll adapt to less calories.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm cutting my diet, and say I'm at 2,000 calories a day, right? And then I cut my diet to 1,500 calories a day, and then 1,200 calories a day, because I got to keep on subtracting, because that way I'll keep losing weight, because your body keeps adapting
and becoming more efficient in their caloric expenditure.
So what happens is that your body now fully adapts to like 1,200 calories, and where do you have to go from there? Are you just going to keep subtracting until you're nothing?
Christian Bale and the Machinist now.
Yeah, like how does that work? So what
Tom Hanks and Castaway.
So your body has this now. You're now, for lack of a better term, set point. You're now set in this position where that's all you need every day.
Yeah.
And then what are you gonna do? Psychologically, you're done with this diet. Like you're done feeling like shit. You're just done with it. So you're like, okay, cool. I lost the weight I wanted to lose. Now I'm gonna go back to eating regular. So now you go back to eating regular.
I'm going Sizzler.
Yeah.
I'm going.
First of all, don't even joke about that, because if we can find a Sizzler, I'm going. They have dinosaur chicken nuggets. They're amazing.
Dude, the cheesy bread.
Yeah,
Next
it's fantastic.
Level. Next level.
So if your body was already used to doing 2,000 calories a day, and then you got it adapted to 1,200, now, even if I go back to eating like I was before, there's an 800 calorie difference there, where all of a sudden you're going to add that weight on quick.
Mm-hmm.
Chances are you're probably going to have a nice little night out, to celebrate that you lost the weight.
You're going to feel like you earned that night of drinking, like we were just talking about.
Yes. And then all of a sudden you increase these calories, and now that same caloric load has a much bigger effect on your body.
Yeah.
So
you feel that. It hits different. As the kids would
the
say.
kids do say
the
that.
kids do say that. Yeah.
So we got to make sure that does not happen. So if you're, like I said, Lane Norton, it has a concept called reverse dieting, where you would actually gradually come up in your calories over time.
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to make sure that happens. But
it was interesting when I mentioned previously about when I was dieting to do a photo shoot. It was interesting to see how many little calories I can get by on. Just exactly what you were saying. It's like, oh wow. It's like, here's the thing about living in this society. You're not going to die of starvation unless you actually set out to. So those hunger pangs that you have initially within those first 2 or 3 days of being in caloric deficiency, guess what? You kind of get over it. You kind of move on. You're not going to die from those first few days.
I don't. I feel like it.
And then you just deal with it and you move on, and the next thing you realize, hey, you're fine. So you don't actually need all the calories that you're consuming right now. 2,000 calories a day just kind of became an arbitrary number.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't need 2,000 calories a day, especially if they don't work out.
Yeah. If you don't need those, send those over here. I'll take it. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. So this is my favorite current event of the day, and this is something I found on health.com.
Near and dear to your heart?
Yes. I'll read you the headline. TikTok users swear by this jaws exercise device, but experts say it's incredibly dangerous. There is something...
Jaw exercise device.
Well, alright. I feel like you could take this in a direction I don't want to go. So I'm going to be completely professional, and I'm going to let you know what it's actually called.
I'll set the timer on that one.
Yeah. It is called the jawcercise.
Love it already.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's it shaped like?
Ooh. All right, let's be real here. It's a ball gag. No, that's what it's a different color than Pulp Fiction.
Does it come with a safety movie?
Yeah.
How many sets?
Yeah. How many sets of the gimp?
Does it come with a spotter?
It most definitely does. No, there is actually a...
Is there a Facebook group?
There's a TikTok. So here's the problem, is that you get influencers on TikTok.
Yes, they are.
To then push this product.
Yes, they are pushing.
And this product is, as we've alluded to, somewhat... what would you call that? Like, it's borderline. Where if someone were watching TikTok, I'm sure they would watch a little more.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and so it's supposedly this jawcercise gadget is supposedly going to get rid of the like fat around like the cheeks,
the cheekbone area.
Yeah, and make a chiseled jawline.
Yeah, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Maria Shriver type of like chiseled face.
Yeah, exactly. And well, I don't think they're pushing the product.
Yeah.
No. But so it is. You literally put it in your mouth.
Oh.
And between your front teeth, and then you squeeze and you just gnaw on it. And I don't know how this started.
Is this for like to solve your TMJ also?
It actually is promoted as that.
Interesting.
Yes, it's promoted as that. And here's the problem. If you ask actual researchers, actual dentists, actual doctors,
mouth doctors,
yeah, they will tell you not only does it not work, but it's super dangerous for your tooth health, as well as what normally if you have an issue with like TMJ issues, they'll give you a guard. Yeah. Which will actually do the exact opposite. Of this little mechanism. And so this is feeding into the issue.
To actually give credibility to go against this story, the little bit of information that I've been able to extrapolate from Rua, he has certifications for just the jaw and all the jaw muscles. And his breakdown about how your jaw alignment can mean so much in the sense of how you breathe and how it connects to your throat and how your throat connects to your chest and how your chest connects to your ribs and
there's a song like that.
Yeah. I think it's a remix of it. And also how
Tiesto.
and how that deals with stress levels, ADD, and just so many different things. But wait, a few influencers on TikTok put this out, so this must mean something.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I mean, I can definitely believe that's happening. But I couldn't believe. Normally, when you look at an article on anything online, they tend to be middle of the road with a slight slant. That's usually what it is. This article, I'm going to, for verbatim, how this article ends, the doctor is being quoted as, "This is a really bad idea. Don't use this."
Perfect. So.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So. Just be aware of what's out there on social media. I know that with the more that we do social media, the more that we get out there, the more we get exposed to not this.
But it is interesting to have this come across, and this is exactly what we mean about also vetting stuff as well. Yeah.
So. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do when we have this crisis of conscience when the jawcercise approaches us.
I'm going to be all over. My mic is going to look different. All right.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think we're done for today. And just remember, guys, we try to keep it fun, functional, and factual because it's the only F's that we give. All right, guys, don't be assholes. Be kind to one another. Take care. Bye.